Test.
Hey, Melinda. I think I just heard you.
Ah, very good. How does it sound?
You sound. You're loud and clear.
Excellent, thanks.
I don't know. It's Tinny. I think she may be on the wrong mic again.
Does it sound tinny to
I tried,
you?
I tried both. Let me try again.
Yeah, that sounds okay. Why don't you recite the Gettysburg Address for us, Melinda? We'll evaluate your
4 score and 7 years ago, our
your.
forefathers set forth upon this nation anew. Oh, well.
Oh,
Um, how do I even relog in? I'll figure it out.
well done. We hear you loud and clear. Why don't you recite
All right. Okay, good. I'll leave it like that.
I didn't know. I didn't actually know that you knew the Gettysburg Address.
That's probably as much as I know. Recently read the Constitution, though. That was actually interesting.
Oh, from start to finish.
It's incredibly short. It's,
Yeah,
in fact, it's sort of my response is like, wait, that can't be it. It's all it is about elections, how to hold elections. That's pretty much it.
Hmm.
But I guess it's enough.
it's amazing how thin it is. A friend of mine wrote a book called "How to Argue the Constitution with the Conservative," and in the first few pages is the Constitution, and the book is just almost like a pamphlet. It's a very thin
Yeah,
book, but it's very humorous too. But it's like I recommend it. It's on Amazon if you're interested in a book about
yeah.
the Constitution.
Oh, that's good. Because I mean, as short as it is, it's pretty dry. It's kind of it's kind of amazing that it works. But it's everything that's been built up around it. That's the real edifice, and the a foundation just so boring and simple doesn't seem like it should be able to do the heavy lifting that it does.
It's open to interpretation to some degree.
And therein lies the rub.
But yeah, it's amazing that people will argue about the Constitution. Turns out they haven't read it, even though you can read it in less than an hour.
Yeah, there's not a lot to argue there. I mean, you can argue about the amendments and what else we should do. And
Oh yeah, it's plenty to argue about.
Hello,
Second
Jay.
Amendment
Hello, Lee.
especially.
Welcome. Welcome, Jay. Hey. Oh, wow. It's already 2 minutes after 7 o'clock. I guess I'm kind of spacing out here. Welcome, everyone. I am expecting more people because we have a large group of photos tonight, and some of the makers haven't yet arrived. Oh, here's another one. Yeah, 21 stereo photos for tonight's special humor topic tonight. Great turnout. Fantastic. Thank you. I have a few announcements to make. Let me first put the relevant links in the chat. I think everyone, of course, knows these links. These are the various streaming links and a link to the straw poll. The straw poll is now the same link. If you would like to choose your top 3 selections during the slideshow, the title slide will have that link. Or you can do it after, or you can do it not at all. But people who are interested are encouraged to participate. I have a couple announcements that I will hold until a few members arrive. Until then, does anyone else have anything they'd like to share or add before we jump into our slideshow? Well, let's go ahead and get started. Our first photo tonight is actually a workshop photo, not a part of tonight's special topic, so we'll skip that. Let me share my screen here. There we go. If you're following along on Zoom, you should now see the title slide. There's a link there also to the straw poll. We're going to skip the first photo, which is by Bob Bloomberg. It's a revision of a photo we gave him feedback on last week. We'll get back to that later this evening. Until then, let's hear from Oleg. We are looking at the Capitan spots a pedestrian.
Yeah, this is a picture I took about 10 years ago, actually, in Chile. And I like the photograph, but the Capitan was looking the other way, and I wanted him to interact with the pedestrian, so I flipped him over. So now they're talking to each other.
And did I get the title right? Is it Capitan? Is this
Capitan is the
Capitan?
way this
Okay.
is in Spanish for captain.
It is in Espanol. I almost changed the title until I thought better of it. Oleg, did you adjust the colors on this? Or were those reds originally
They were
seen?
pretty bright. This is Valparaiso, so they love paint, and they paint their houses, they paint everything. So this is all real colors.
Wow. And tell us
See why
again
you
what
like the
country
place.
this was?
Excuse me?
The country?
Chile.
Chile, that's right. Well, thank you, Oleg. We're missing Bob, so we'll skip the next one. And we're missing Jack, so we'll skip the one after that. And we're going to land on one by Melinda, which is called Good Dog, Bad Donut. And if you're following along on YouTube, just give this a few moments. Melinda, when you can, tell us all about this. In the meantime, I'm going to see if I can text our missing members.
Yeah, it's just a weird random moment that I stumbled upon. I guess somebody decided to throw away their pool donut. Probably somebody attempted to go swimming here at Chrissy Field, where the water is below freezing, and they probably decided that was not a good idea. And this is how they managed to throw away their donut. And I thought it looked nice with the backlighting. And so I just was taking a picture of this weird thing, and this guy and his dog just happened to walk past. So it's doesn't mean anything. It's just kind of an absurd image, which I found a little comical.
Yeah, I'd say it fits the bill.
a long time ago too.
Yeah, they didn't even try to deflate it. They must have had a really bad time out on the water with that thing.
Yeah, no telling what's going on. I mean, I could guess that maybe they didn't want to pop it because maybe somebody else might decide to rescue it. I really don't know.
I don't suppose you had any more room at the top of this picture.
Nope.
Yeah, because I mean the subjects are scarily close to the top edge.
Yeah, it's definitely uncomfortably close, but certainly not worth any effort at all to do anything about it.
That's great timing with that dog framed in the donut.
Yeah, that's like the best thing about it. It just sort of happened.
And it's nice there's light falling on the dog's face that kind of defines it and separates it from that sand.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't really do anything to the image.
All right. Well, thank you, Melinda.
Mhm.
Let's move forward and hear from Jay about potted rat. This is a conversion, I believe. Is that right, Jay?
Yes. Yeah. Just went with the free layer picks conversion. And this rat, it was his favorite sleeping place. When he got to free roam from his cage, he just go into this pot. And he eventually grew chubby enough to throw it. That's it.
That's a big rat.
Yeah, he was almost a pound.
Well, I think the conversion did a really good job on the fur. I'm looking at it on my Lume Pad, and the fur seems very natural and very separate, too.
You see me? I'm here.
Hi, Jack.
Hi.
Jay, did you make any corrections after the
Nope.
the
No,
immersity conversion, just straight out of the converter?
Yeah, just straight, quick.
Yeah, I'm finding the new immersity conversion is very accurate.
Yeah, the picture looks great. I mean, the depth looks great. I can't seem to merge the logo. Not that it matters because you don't really want the logo, but I can't figure out why I'm not able to get that. I guess it's pretty far out past the
Yeah.
window.
It's behind the green stuff.
Oh, probably because the logo is like so far behind the leaves.
Oh, it's behind.
I
Okay.
think they put it at the window.
Oh, I think that may be the problem is my brain
Yeah,
because it's a visible in front of it, but it's sitting behind, and my brain can't make sense out of that.
yeah.
I think it's
And it's pretty far back then. Oh yeah, I see the problem.
Excuse me for coming in late. What's Immersity AI?
Leopex. They changed the name,
Oh, okay.
and we can no longer bug Nemo about these things.
That's right.
Huh.
Nima's left Leah, And I think he's relocated to another coast. Is that right? I didn't get the full story.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah. Yeah. Leapix is now Immersity, and it has a much better conversion AI, whatever it is. It's really improved by leaps and bounds. And as Jay was saying, he didn't make any corrections to this. This is right out of the converter.
If you show an image like this using that, are you required by law to say Immersity AI on it?
Oh no, there's a free version that
Oh.
gives where you get this watermark. Is that the case, Jay?
Yeah, this one I just used the free version.
Yeah.
I did another one where, I used some credits.
Jay, what resolution does the free version let you download?
720.
Okay, that's not bad. Yeah.
The leaf in the middle over the rat's neck seems to be a little bit deeper than the rat itself. Leaf and the shadow seem to be kind of inside its head.
It's definitely resting on it. It looks like it. Looks like
Oh,
it's disturbing the fur.
it's a like file cabinet thing. So it's a mesh metal.
I mean the leaf right above the ear seems
sorry?
like it's the leaf that's just above the rat's ear.
Mhm.
Seems to be deeper than the rat itself. Seems to be inside its head. Otherwise, the conversion looks pretty good, but it seems like it got that one leaf wrong.
It's the shadow that's throwing things off.
It's pretty close. I can't quite tell for sure. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Jay. Let's see, Oleg. We've got you up next. And the title is Rabbit Fails to Pay for a Strawberry.
Yeah, this was a corner shop. They had painted up this old truck and used it as a mural. And I took a picture of the mural. And then after I did that, I thought, well, I'll take a picture of the whole thing. What I didn't realize was that the poster on the left side actually goes with the mural. So that's why I put down that his wording, that rabbit stole the strawberry. He's running away and his tormentor is trying to shoot him.
Well,
That works really well.
Funny.
It is funny.
And I didn't think that strawberry on the left, I didn't know what it was until I studied the whole thing.
Well, it's pointing right at it.
Yeah, I made it point right at it.
Okay.
Where is this?
Melinda, I don't think he heard that. You're starting out very quiet, and then your microphone kind of clicks in.
Yeah, I'm getting some feedback too on the in my headsets. But yeah, Oleg, where was this? What town is this?
This was at an intersection of highways that and starts with an E. It's south of Santa Barbara. Forget the name of the city.
Yeah, there's Encino, but that's a little ways south.
Oh. My brain don't work.
Yeah, I can't think either. Southern California.
Yeah. See, I'm stuck on Venice. This is way north of Venice. The county is, I can't even remember, it's the name of the county. I can't remember.
You'll remember it months from now when you're driving through again.
I'll remember it in 5 minutes.
Okay.
It's probably Ventura County.
That's it. It's Ventura.
Oh, okay.
Steve, you're the in-house expert. Did Warner Brothers produce a 3D short in the heyday of the 50s, like other cartoon studios?
Yes, they did. They made Lumberjack Rabbit with Chuck Jones. And then in the 80s, when one of the many revivals of 3D, there was Duck Dodgers in the third dimension.
Oh.
I think that's what it was called. It was rather long, and it used to play in some of the Warner Brothers stores. I saw it at an animation festival in LA.
Are either of those shorts on a Blu-ray 3D or available anywhere?
Haven't seen them anywhere. Actually, somebody that I worked with at Pixar, who was a student of mine, worked on the film, and he has no idea how to get it. I think it's on YouTube flat. But I mean, they Lumberjack Rabbit is on the DVD sets and stuff. But yeah, really, there's a couple that just want to see them again. Lumberjack Rabbit is actually not that great. It was an afterthought. They didn't do a lot of the subject matter is not perfect for 3D because it's a Jack and the Beanstalk type story, I think, or a Paul Bunyan story. Yeah, I think it's a Paul Bunyan story. And the scale makes it hard to get the 3D to work. Elmer Fudd is a gigantic, anyway, more information than you really wanted.
Well, I guess we're getting a taste of it in Oleg's entry here.
Of course, there are some Roadrunner cartoons that are on YouTube in 3D. And they're really well done.
What year were they produced?
I think in the late 90s.
Okay, huh.
I think Matt O'Callahan, I think, is the director. Did a nice job.
Where would those have been shown originally?
Before 3D features.
When they do that, do they round out the people and objects, or do they keep them flat?
Well, the Lumberjack Rabbit is rather flat, and the Duck Dodgers is made with Pixar style software, but it has a kind of a flatness to it with like maybe a little bit of shading. So they're trying to keep a little bit of the feel of the drawing. And the Roadrunner ones are very three-dimensional looking, and they've rendered the fur on the coyote. I mean, it doesn't look anything like the classic Joneses, which at first is off-putting, but you know what, after a while, because he's got the timing down pretty well. So you get used to the look of it, but it's very the Roadrunner ones, and there's also a Tweety one that they did, and I think all of them, most of them are available on YouTube if you search around.
There
But the
is a
Tweety one I
Casper the
had to-
Ghost, Boo Moon, Woody Woodpecker.
Oh yeah, there's the Hypnotic Hicks is available on Wings of the Hawk, and Blue Moon is available on I think the is it the Rarities? I think Blue Moon's on Rarity and McLaren's films. My favorite is Melody, which is Disney's. It's not available. Not yet, anyway.
Well, thank you, Steve. I knew you would be a source of vast information about that.
I appreciate the opportunity to spew it out.
Of course. Hey, that's what you're here for. Thank you, Oleg. Next up, let's talk to Steve again. And the title is Shoe Fly. Did I get that right, Steve?
That is correct.
That's
I
the
know
right
she's
one.
not a fly, but it could look like a fly
Yes.
zipping around. Speaking of flat cartoon, this is a flat drawing I got on the internet. And then I just added some shading using the burn and dodge tools. And then, of course, used some of the other tools, the manipulation tools to give it some depth. And then I used my W3 for the photo of myself.
That is Tinkerbell.
That is the Tinkerbell, yeah. It was, even though you always picture her flying, like in the logo of the TV show, I had difficulty finding a picture of her flying. There were a lot of pictures of her sitting and standing, but I couldn't find, a good one.
You're just missing the fly swatter or the bug spray, Steve.
Well, she is kind of cute, so I don't want to.
I know.
I don't want to
You-
destroy
You'd have HR all over your ass, but it would look good coming out of the window.
She does. She should come out. When I thought that's what I did. Yeah,
No. I meant if you had the fly swatter or a bug spray coming at her.
Yeah. Well, did you ever see It's Tough to Be a Bug?
I'm sorry, which one?
It's Tough to Be a Bug, which is at the Disney parks. It's the one I worked on. They have a scene with it's about bugs, and they have a fly swatter, they actually used a human hand, and a fly swatter swats right out into the audience.
No, I missed that. Is it available anywhere to see outside the park?
Somebody has actually put that on YouTube as well.
Oh, okay,
And I
great. I'll
did
check
that.
it out.
When I did the presentation for the 3D Con,
Uh-huh.
that I showed a clip. I showed the scene I animated in 3D just because somebody figured out a way to record it and 3D and post it.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
Well, I probably saved it.
And great
You know,
cartoon.
It's not the way to see it because it's an immersive experience.
Yeah, right.
I think it's still at Disney World. They took it out of Disneyland, at California Adventure.
I saw it at Disney World years ago. Very good.
Yeah, I have to say they did a really good job for the venue because they have the tree. It's inside the Tree of Life, and they have all these carvings, and which is really smart because you have stuff to keep you occupied while you're waiting in line as you circle around this huge tree. So that's, they figured out a way to make the lines at least somewhat entertaining. Which they didn't have in the California Adventure.
Well, Steve,
I
if
like
you-
this image a lot. It's very creative. The only thing I wonder is if it might be improved from a slightly different angle because it's with Tinkerbell covering your eye like that kind of bugs me a little bit. But
Yeah, it because her wings are transparent. I don't know how transparent they're supposed to be, but that seemed to pay off because it keeps from obscuring my eye completely.
right, yeah, I'm glad I can see both eyes. But I do kind of my eyes trying to figure out where to focus on your eye or on the wing.
I could probably move her down a little bit, and it would probably still look like I was looking at her,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
reveal more of the iris or the pupil.
Yeah, it's pretty minor. It's just a little rivalry for me.
Yeah. Okay.
If it's on a separate layer, you could also get, take away some of the wings so you can see through it a little more.
I definitely could do that.
Might help.
I mean, I like the wings. I like that they're a
Oh yeah, I
little
wouldn't get rid of them.
transparent too.
Maybe make them a little more transparent because they'd be flapping and blurry.
No, that didn't occur to me that you could do that. I don't know. That might be distracting. I kind of like the way the wings look now because they have some depth. But I guess even if they were blurry, they could have some depth.
Yeah,
It's just kind of a freeze frame right now. I love your cartoon selfie. It's
Yeah.
great shot. Great shot.
Thanks. So the W3.
You must have used a self timer or something.
Yeah, I did. Yes, I used the self timer.
Well, I love the way. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to reiterate, it's very well done.
Thanks.
And on the
I'm
Lume
pretty
Pad,
pleased with the shading.
Looks like she got fashion advice from the Flintstones.
Or the other way around. She predates the Flintstones, but yeah, it does kind of have that feeling of like the animal skin. I guess it's supposed to be like a leaf or something.
Ah,
A bunch of leaves. She was supposedly modeled after Marilyn Monroe
it makes sense.
and a few other people.
I love the house slippers.
all right.
They
Thank you,
thought
Steve.
the stilettos were a little bit too R-rated for Disney.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Very nice, Steve. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody.
Bob, we've got one by you next. Little House Cafe is the title.
And this this wonderful little cafe is in Alameda.
I think I was there when you took this picture.
Maybe, yeah. I took a cha-cha and it was really screwed up because there were some other leaves in the back, some tree, a bush that obscured the second story of that yellow building. And I used generative fill in Photoshop to get rid of some of that, and it really helped a lot.
Wow.
It's perfect.
I thought about doing some stuff with the window too, like having a reflection of the witch flying in the air. But I thought it was a nice record of the place as it is. Oh, I also have one of these where I put Toto in front of the ruby slippers.
Love the bright colors.
Yeah, no, it's a great concept. I love that they did that.
Well, I mean, even with the yellow in the background, blue sky.
Oh yeah, no, I love all the primaries in there.
Yeah. very much an OLED kind of style.
I'm looking for evidence of your generative fill, some sort of a air or rivalry or something, and I can't detect anything. What
I
did you
did
do?
some cutting and pasting as well.
Okay.
There's a little bit of rivalry in that bush back there that I didn't correct, but I think everything else is pretty good.
I think on my Lume Pad I see maybe one leaf that might be out of place.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad on the Lume
Very
Pad.
good. Very good.
There's some stuff that looks like the wind blew it around or something, but
Mhm.
it's pretty minor.
Yeah. I haven't experimented with the generative fill in stereo myself. Have you played around with that a lot, Bob?
No, hardly at all.
Yeah, it's something I really want to experiment with.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I have to do it obviously separately on left and rights. But I think what I did was I used the generative fill on one, either the left or right, and then cut and paste it, since it was basically at infinity, and just overlapped. It was just on the left side where those windows meet the frame,
Makes sense.
where the leaves were coming in.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, Bob.
Sure, my pleasure.
We'll hear from Jay next. This is Art Car. I haven't seen a lot of art cars around lately.
Sorry. Went to a state park and this was in the parking lot. I think it's been a couple of years since I took this. And yeah, the animals were on the roof and in the back seat.
Are these items for sale or just for show?
It was just glued to his roof, to his hood, to his
Oh,
roof,
it's
to
glued
his
to the
trunk.
hood.
Yep,
Oh,
it's
okay.
all glued. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's stuff
That's-
like this all over the place. I mean, people are really serious about it. I think didn't Les Blank make a documentary about it? Or I think somebody who worked for Les Blank made a documentary about art cars.
Oh, what year would that have been?
And probably in the 90s.
It might have been his son, Herod.
Oh, you're right. It was his son.
Yeah, have you seen his camera car?
No.
Oh, I have a whole series of stereo cars that I made of art cars. A lot of them, my David Best. I don't know if anyone got out to DeRosa Art Preserve at any time. I don't know if they're even open anymore, but some of his best cars were featured there. I can submit some next week if you're interested in seeing.
Yeah, I'd be
Definitely
interested in seeing
so,
some of them.
yeah.
I
there's
was going to mention that, I think I'm sure it's natural, but there's some really pretty bad retinal rivalry on the reflection on the right side of the image. It's really hard.
Do you guys have duck Jeeps out in California?
Duck Jeeps? Doesn't ring a bell.
What? No.
Okay, that's people who put little toy ducks in their windshield of their Jeeps. It's getting very common here. Duck Jeeps.
a new one to me.
Wall thing is such an American thing. Probably really screws up your highway mileage too, I would think.
Yeah, it's probably not very aerodynamic.
You probably don't want to drive too fast also. Jay, was this a cha-cha? I'm looking
Yeah.
at that retinal rivalry and that reflection that Steve pointed out. It looks like maybe it's a shadow on the right.
It was a charger with a cell phone. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just the reflection.
Looks like maybe like an entire car just pulled out between the shots.
Yeah, I don't remember a car doing that.
There's a car in the
Yeah.
reflected in the right eye, but not the left.
It's probably worth going in and doing a little cloning on this one.
Well, thank you very much, Jay. Very nice. Let's see. I don't think Peter Sinclair made it. We'll pass up his entry for now in case he drops by later. He is a night owl. We're going to jump instead to one by Bob, Hedge Fund Manager. Not fund, but fun manager.
This is a birthday card I did for Rich Dubnow, who does the custom Viewmaster reels.
And we know he's a pro jock because he's got the clip-on polarized lenses for his glasses.
Exactly.
Now, what's the origin of the hedgehog? Was he carrying that around with him, or is
No,
that
actually, that's a shot of a hedgehog that I took. A friend has a company called Classroom Safaris, and she happened to have a hedgehog, and I do a little pro bono photography for her. So I just cut and paste that into his hand. He had his hand just coming out, perfect for a hedgehog. So
Got the size right too.
His quills matched the beard.
yeah,
yeah, great.
Richard's expression seemed to fit too.
Peas in a pod. Yeah, thanks, Bob.
Sure.
Melinda, here's one by you. You can tell by the way I use my walk.
By the way, all of my submissions this month are dogs.
Oh, they're not that bad. Just
Most of
kidding.
them are pretty bad. Yeah, no, they are pretty bad. There's nothing really tremendous here.
I know somebody has to have a drum set for the rim shots.
Definitely.
I should have added that sound effect to Zoom. I think there's a way to do that. But
Oh yeah,
maybe
definitely.
for next month.
Well, this image comes with its own soundtrack,
Yes.
and yeah, it was just a very fast snap, a lot of motion blur. Didn't really have much chance or really desire to try to get a perfect shot, but I thought it was kind of fun, and I do like the blur a little bit.
I'm sure she was.
That makes
moving
them look
fast.
like some kind of a hybrid dragon dog.
Yeah,
And it
there's
combines.
it's like a good subject, but you'd have to put in the time. I wasn't really interested.
Hydrogen one, I presume.
Yes, of course.
Of course. Yeah. Did you crop this one at all, or is this straight out of the camera?
I think, yeah, I cropped a little bit off the left. So the other three sides were kind of tight, so it balanced it a little bit to tighten it up on the left also.
And the title is from Staying Alive, I believe.
Correct.
You can tell by the way I use my walk, yes. Bee Gees.
Once I was afraid.
All right, thanks, Melinda. Oleg, you're up next. We've got What Goes Up Must Come Down.
Yeah, that's exactly what I caught. Um, the guy, he must be about 25 feet above the water. He survived because 20 minutes later he had walked around and came back to this spot.
Yeah, great synchronization.
According to the sign, there is some sort of deck underneath the wharf there.
Sign?
At the bottom of the fire hydrant.
Oh, I didn't even look at that. I'll zoom in.
So I guess it's a warning, but I don't know who they're warning.
It looks like the kayakers are observing the action as well. And they're
Looks
nicely
like a
framed.
boat.
Oleg, I like how your labels are in space also.
Yeah, it needed an explanation.
And where was this, Oleg? Southern California, I presume?
Yeah, this is what's the name of the city? I couldn't remember. Oh no, this is this is south of um, there's a pier there, Santa Monica.
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica.
Okay.
No, this is the pier in Santa Barbara. Boy, am I confused. Yeah, this was in Santa Barbara. And I don't remember the name of that pier.
Looks like Carlsbad or something.
No.
Well, it's very well composed. And it's got humor. Thank you, Oleg. Jay, you're up next with Grape, a 3D energy drink.
Yeah, Stop and Shop at grocery outlet. And I actually didn't buy this, too much caffeine. But, yeah, if I was going to the 3D con, I might have gotten a case.
You have any idea what the 3Ds were in relation to a drink?
No idea. And it's not like it's a Dr. Bonner soap with a big explanation. And yeah, they didn't last long.
Yeah, I remember the last big 3D fad that we had in, I don't know, 2010, 2012. We got a lot of products with 3D in the title, like toothpaste and mouthwash and all sorts of strange things. It was a hot buzzword, and I guess it still is.
Well, I don't know if it's hot because it is grocery outlet.
Yeah, that's right. These could be 10 years old.
Grocery outlet is where hot goes to die.
Yeah, 3D, it's technical, it references a lot of different fields, printing, virtual reality, gaming, movies, photography. It's for some people, it's just sort of a kind of a general cool thing. As it
I mean,
should
it's
be.
accurate.
What was that?
It's accurate.
It is accurate?
Those people who think it's a cool thing have never been to a 3D club meeting.
That's what we need to convince them of, yes. Yeah, I couldn't drink this either. Thank you, Jay. I am going to take a brief pause here because we did skip over a few at the beginning because the makers hadn't arrived yet. We'll loop back at the end of the slideshow and see those. So I just wanted to emphasize that we're not going to skip anything. One of those is a workshop photo. Bob, this is the baby boa tongue revised, and we'll have you talk about that a little later in the meeting when it'll come up. Since I have you as a captive audience now, let me just spend 2 minutes. Here, I'll let you see my face also. I just want to share a couple very brief announcements. No, just one brief announcement, and that is to remind everyone that the 2024 Chicago Lighthouse 76th International Exhibition of Stereo Photography is now open. The closing date is September 28th, so we've got plenty of time to get our photos together. I'm going to put a link in the chat for those who are interested. And I encourage everyone here to enter. I think it's important that we support these international exhibitions, and our stereo photography definitely deserves to be represented, and this is a great way to share your stereo photography with the international stereo community. All right.
Is that the only one that's announced so far?
That's the only one that I've picked up.
Except
Does
the other
anyone else
two.
know of any others?
Well, you did PSA and Southern Cross already, of course.
Right. Yeah.
There's still time to get. Oh, actually, not for the digital, just for cards. The NSA 3D Con had several image competitions.
Oh, thank you, Bob.
So if anybody does cards, I've been suffering from some kind of flu, so I'm just hopping out of bed to join the meeting today. But I've been trying to get cards done and in there, and the deadline is coming up on the 12th. So for anyone who has cards and want to get them in and don't mind paying for a little express mail, there's still time.
Oh, thanks, Bob.
Sure.
I'll put that link.
LA people are trying to get Hollywood approved
Oh,
for some time.
I know this year, as Herb explained, they've changed the requirements. Sounds like they've updated some of the rules and made it more challenging for the host of these stereo internationals. The
PSA has changed the rules.
The PSA has, they've tightened the rules for
Oh.
all of their divisions, including stereo. Some argue maybe unfairly, maybe a little too strictly, stereo being a smaller community, but yes, that's something that changed in 2024. I just put the link to the 3DCon 2024 competitions in the chat. There's information about the stereo card competition that Bob just mentioned. And I think Herb had mentioned something about the Cascade also last month. We will get information from him when we see him next month. In any case, there are some competitions coming up. So please participate. And thank you for indulging me for that little break. I'm going to share my screen again, and we'll get on with the show. All right. I'll give everyone a few seconds to get situated here, and then we will move on. To One by Bob, Terry, and Tommy. And these must be twins.
They are indeed. This was taken many years ago at the Twins Day Festival in Twinsburg, Ohio. And I ran into Tommy and Terry in front of the police department.
These twins were just roaming around town?
Oh, I've got hundreds of shots, including one from a cherry picker of the whole group, over 1,000 identical twins.
If you're following along on YouTube, I forgot to advance, so apologies. It'll just take a few seconds, and Bob's photo will pop up. There we go. Bob, I love what you've done with Terry's left foot slightly stepping over the border, the window. Very nice.
Yeah, actually,
detail.
it was cut off and shot, so I had to make it work, and that was the best way to do it. So I stole from which one is it, Terry or Tommy? his brother's shoe, and added it to the tip that was missing.
Oh, it's a great detail.
Terry is obviously the rebel.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed.
Now, Bob, did you go to this to photograph this convention, or are you a twin yourself?
No, I'm not a twin, but I did go all the way to Twinsburg, Ohio, just for this event with some friends. And thanks to my being a contributor to Stereo World, I was able to get into the press pool and get my turn on the cherry picker to rise up above the crowd and get a nice shot.
Oh, that's a great
In
life hack.
3D
Yeah.
with some twin cameras, but I can share it at some point.
Yeah, please do. As well as you mentioned you had some art car photos.
I'm working on one as we speak here. It's a great one
Well,
that David Best did. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to showing those. So send me a batch and we'll set them up.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Bob. And thank
Sure.
you, Terry and Tommy.
I'll pass along your thanks.
So, Melinda, we saw Good Dog, Bad Donut. Now is Bad Dog, Good Donut.
And don't ask me why. I was thinking maybe the donut was to keep him from biting people or something, but that doesn't really make sense. There's also a lake just to the right. Maybe it's a life preserver, or maybe it's to keep him from biting himself. I don't know. I do like the donut.
It doesn't look like a bad dog.
No, probably not. He was having a lot of fun.
It does look like a donut.
I had to boost the shadows a lot. His face was almost completely in darkness.
Yeah, I think the one thing this photo is missing is like a catch light in his or her eyes. Give it a bit of a highlight. But that's up to the light source.
That's all.
I'll just add a bit of trivia to this. If you happen to view this in half color anaglyph, which we are streaming on one of our channels, the donut, rather than being that hot pink, is purple through red cyan glasses. I don't know. Just a comment. Thank you, Melinda. Steve, tell us about the evolution of 3D.
All right, well, I've posted this before, but I was standing on my deck and there was all these leaves and trees behind me, so it was really busy. And so I just painted out all of that, and it, was an opportunity to put a little shadow there. So in a way, this is half native and half conversion. What I call a hybrid, but I guess mostly native because I'm holding the camera out and shot that with the W3. And so this particular episode, I'm the subject of. I only have 2 postings, and I'm the subject. I'm the subject 4 times in 2 pictures.
I like your appropriate facial expressions.
if you look closely,
Eyeball count as well.
I have a single lens glasses and the appropriate number of eyes to go with it for the yesterday, and a normal bifocal eyes, and then 3D appropriate 3 eyes for the tomorrow. That's the evolution. I'll evolve a third eye.
Maybe when AI takes over everything, why we'll go from 2 images to 3 images like this.
That's right. That's my expectation.
Maybe
I don't know
that.
if you remember posting this. It was about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago.
Oh yeah, I remember it well. I like what you've done with it. It's definitely helped to remove the background.
Yeah, thanks.
I see you've added a shadow for each figure. That's a nice touch to tie it into to the space.
Yeah, shadow's a really easy way to put some definition to a blank color, so you can have some depth. And it's relatively easy to do.
So when you showed an earlier version of this, however long ago it was, did we discuss the practicality of a 3-lens stereo camera?
I don't remember the discussion. I think I remember that a couple of people hadn't noticed that I changed my face, and I think it was because it was just so busy back there. But I don't remember. There probably was a little bit of a discussion. I know there are 3D cameras that have, the two lenses for photographing and one for a viewfinder. Or of course, there's the Nimslo camera had 4 lenses?
Particulars, yeah.
I did have a 3-lens lenticular camera. It was a plastic thing. Gosh, I wonder if I still have that. And did get some nice lenticular prints from it. This was in the 90s, but they did exist.
We had a Nimslo camera. It was my dad's camera, and I don't know whatever happened to it. I remember the prints were really expensive, though.
I've got my Nimslo. Beautiful little camera.
It would be nice if like some hobbyists or someone would create just a dedicated 3D camera with no frills, just your basic smartphone, which is like $5, and then a bunch of cameras. Just put 5 or 6 on the front.
Five or 6 lenses for like choosing from pairs or for lenticulars?
Exactly. Yeah.
There was a very interesting thread on the main 3D Group SCIO discussion board about the technique of shooting stereo. Oh, how was it phrased? Basically shooting with multiple cameras that are spaced with different spacing so that you can choose from the best 2 based on the distance from your subject.
Yeah, if you wanted them to be, if you want the most variety of distances, I think you want to scale the distances by the golden ratio.
Ah,
and then
interesting.
Then you have the most possible choices of different depths.
When I made a 3D print of the Sonic runway at a lenticular print, I just had an image out of the W3, so it was just two images, and the company that did it was able to interpolate like 10 or 12 or so images to make an effective lenticular print. So apparently that's a pretty easy way to do it, just using a standard 2-lens camera.
Yeah, and with AI getting so good, I guess just one lens is fine now too. Maybe that's where we're going.
Yeah, one lens can definitely work, especially if you have stuff that the AI recognizes. But with two lenses, you've got pretty much all the depth information you need, and it's
Yeah.
accurate. It isn't guessing. So, but yes, you can do amazing things with one lens now. And you also, with AI, you can do amazing things with zero lenses.
Yes, in fact,
true,
there
too.
is an article in the most recent Stereoscopy, and I'll show it after the slideshow, about making lenticulars from AI-generated photographs. So, right, there's your zero lens lenticular image.
Yeah, on
share that a little
Facebook,
later.
somebody's posting regularly 3D images, and the entire image, both left and right, are just generated from a text prompt.
But to turn them into stereo, I mean, the AI really needs to understand it. And for that, I think we need to train them on just, all of the stereo images we can get our hands on.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't come across a dedicated AI agent for generating stereo photography. I know I've shown a couple that I sort of explained to Dolly, and it kind of made pairs. There was a lot of pseudo airs and that kind of thing, but yeah, I think a properly trained AI agent, which I imagine is what is it, Immersity, formerly Leapix. That must be what they're doing now. They must be training it with probably our stereo photography, whatever they can scrape off the internet.
I have
Yeah, I
a
hope
little
so.
addendum for this image in case anybody's interested. I loaded it into Affinity, but it was created in Photoshop. And all the levels came out intact, properly named, including the text was loaded in as editable text. So Affinity completely understood everything I had done, the groupings of my levels, the naming, everything was exactly the way that I had put it out in Photoshop, which is pretty cool. I think you can go the other way. I know I can save stuff in a Photoshop format, but it's great that it works that way.
Oh. Good to know. All right. Well, thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
A lot of fun. A vision of the future here, according to Steve.
Glad to help.
Jay, when masks were mandatory, I believe this is a conversion.
Yes, a conversion. Yeah, just a quick shot in the airport. Probably around 2001, 2021. Yeah.
How come you don't automatically do cha-chas?
I'm sorry, what?
How come you don't automatically take cha-chas? Any sort of still life like this, if I don't have a stereo camera, I'm definitely taking cha-cha
I-
images.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just, at the time, didn't want to record.
It's pretty funny.
Well, the subject couldn't have been moving much, and the subject couldn't really see you, so
Yeah, I just was nervous at the time.
yeah, you don't want to be messing with people in an airport.
If this goes much farther in this direction, we'll just give up shooting cha-chas altogether and just shoot them like this.
That is a possibility. The conversions are getting better and better.
Doesn't seem like it's much fun to me.
Yeah, I've been getting very interesting results with Immersity. Not a lot of stuff I would share with this group, but having a lot of fun, like family snapshots and that kind of thing. And I'm still masking. There is a summer surge, and those of us who have to ride BART and sit in an office, well, better safe than sorry, but this idea never occurred to me. That's pretty smart. I probably give that a try. All right. Thank you, Jay. Oleg, we've got one by you next. Snoopy's home at the dog park.
Yeah, this is at my brother's place. Snoopy was there, and I like the fact that it was. He lives in clear weather, whereas my brother's place is always in summertime gloomy.
It's very effective. Did you consider maybe pulling the doghouse forward instead of backwards?
No, I did consider that. I'm trying to imagine what it might be better. I'll see.
Doghouse and the grass forward, and
Yeah,
then you still have the window. It just gives you another layer.
I think it would be stronger that way. I'll do that. Thanks for the suggestion.
Sure.
The Charles Schultz Museum in Santa Rosa is a great place to visit. I didn't come back with any stereo photos, but I definitely got a lot out of it.
Yeah, outside of it, oh no, it was at the hospital that they had statues of the characters. It's the what's the name that the Kaiser Hospital
Oh,
has at least three statues of the characters.
well, I remember a couple years ago, Tor shared some stereo photos of the Charles Schultz Museum, and there were also, I think he focused on some character statues that were outdoors. Yeah, that's a nice contrast with the gloomy gray sky and the bright blue cartoon sky, and then the red of the doghouse and the garbage can tying the two together. I'm presuming you added that color or adjusted it.
I adjusted it.
Yeah, very clever. And oh, I just noticed there's a little dog Like,
Yeah, I had to brighten them up. I didn't think anybody would notice it, but you did.
that ties into a white dog with a black nose. Connections to reality. Thanks, Oleg. Melinda, here's more dogs, a dozen doggos.
Yeah, this is just a professional dog walker in my neighborhood. And so I positioned myself for where he was walking by and got the snap. He wasn't sure what to make of it. His initial reaction was that maybe I was someone that was going to file a complaint or something. Apparently people give him a hard time. But when I explained, I just thought it was a funny picture with all the dogs, and he was quite happy. And this is full frame, but it's still not enough depth for the H1.
I want to see the second shot when they see the squirrel.
Yeah, it looks like he knows what he's doing though. And they were very well behaved.
Yeah, I'm close friends with a professional dog walker, and she gets harassed by people all the time for perceived infractions or for yelling at one of her dogs. People are very sensitive when it comes to dogs.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with people.
That looks like a tough job to me.
I mean, he's obviously really good at it. They're all very well behaved. I think it's very natural for them to want to form into packs, and I think, and dogs really love to have jobs, and I guess he's very clear about what the rules are and what he expects, and I think they're all very happy to comply.
I'm counting a dozen there.
Yeah, I think the 3D really helps too. I was having trouble getting an accurate count myself.
Yeah, they just sort of merge together into one dog mass.
But if you look just under the dog walker's hand, that tail ball looks like a muzzle if you look at it.
Exactly. Yeah, I was puzzled too, but yeah, the 3D is what tells you exactly what's going on. It's just enough of a hint.
It's funny, there's so many types of dog sizes and shapes and breeds and colors, and they're all, sort of focused on the same thing. Some of them are distracted and sniffing the flowers or whatever, but yeah, they're all under his command.
All dogs doing the dog thing.
Yeah, you got the walker in a great pose. It's that sort of inquisitive expression. The leash is in both hands, sort of mid-step. It's to me, the walker is the real subject here. You've captured him really well. Did you have to brighten up any shadows or anything?
I had to turn down the highlights. There were some. There's always some washed out parts. Didn't really have to do much. Yeah, it's just too bad I didn't have the right camera.
Well, no regrets. Don't lose any sleep over the one that got away.
No, it's fine. This is the special subject for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I always do in a situation like this, I don't use shadow highlights at all, except for one thing, on the highlights. You get rid of the other options, but it really does a good job of finding detail in highlights.
I mean, both ends are useful. But yeah, those blown out highlights, though, I mean, all it really does is turn the shade down a little bit, but it still looks blown out. So there's only so much you can get out of that.
Yeah, there's just no information there.
Yeah.
Those pixels are just white.
But
Right.
you'd be surprised how much you can find in there.
Maybe in a raw image or something, but not in the ones that I'm getting.
I would love an AI tool in Photoshop or whichever that could generate detail for blown out images, could analyze these dogs and understand the texture and the way their fur catches the light, and then fill that in so that it's still bright but detail. These are my dreams. I would imagine maybe someday we'll get that.
I'm talking about recovering stuff from the image, but AI creation of what should be there, huh?
That's what I'm describing, yes. That's generative AI. So as soon as someone comes across that tool, let me know, because I need it. Thank you, Melinda. Now, for those who have downloaded the files to view on your own device, and for those who are following the streams, when I advance, you'll see we're at the end of our slideshow, but I'm going to loop around because we skipped over a couple at the beginning. The makers weren't here yet. The first image we're going to land on, I'm actually going to skip again because it's a workshop photo that we'll look at after we make our selections in our straw poll. I know that's kind of complicated, so bear with me. I'm just gonna go ahead. If you're following along with me, you're gonna see me rapidly advancing until we get to photo number 3 by Bob. Viewer's Dream is the title. Bob, when this pops up on your screen, tell us all about it.
Well, this was another birthday card I did for the late, great Hugo Device, who is a fantastic maker of fabulous stereo viewers. And this was a viewer I had in my collection. And I just thought it might be dreaming of one day being an actual device viewer and growing up from his adolescent self.
Yeah.
So it's just that photograph, and the rest I did in Photoshop. I drew the cardigan, whatever that is.
Yeah, it does form a nice face. The eyes and the mouth.
Yeah, I see a lot of those.
I've never seen this viewer. Was this like a commercial type viewer?
Yeah. I have the info on it somewhere. I'll have to find it, but it was something put out on a store top, for display that people could see. I'm not sure what it was promoting. I'll have to look. It's up on my shelf. So
This is similar to a viewer that Eric Curlin has in his museum, which was designed to keep kids occupied while their parents are shopping.
Hmm.
And they had what he had in his is a series of Mighty Mouse pictures
Mm-hmm.
with the recording. And so it plays the recording and then it cycles through the images like watching a cartoon, although the images aren't moving. It's advancing from one picture to another. But the device looked a lot like this. It was bigger. It went down to the floor. But it was like this, and it was free. And it was, maybe it wasn't free. I think it cost like a dime or something.
Well, this one is free. I didn't see any slot for coins. The left button activates the light, and I think the right one maybe advances the slides.
Yeah, Eric told me a great story about the recording. He said when he bought it, it came with this recording on tape, and he had it transferred to digital. It was so old and brittle that the tape just sort of turned into dust right after he was able to digitize it.
Wow.
So luckily, he's got a recording of it that he plays with it. He had that made up to simulate what it was like.
Yeah, I've seen, antique viewers, but I really don't know much about these types of like commercial viewers myself. I'd love to learn more. I wonder if, Bob, it sounds like you have a collection.
Oh, yeah. I have one called the Art Parade 3D viewer, which when I bought it had religious slides in it, but I think it was originally made to show nudie cutie strips, which is, I'll take a photo of it
That'd be great.
and show it to you. Or actually, if you're on Facebook, you can see it on my Facebook page.
All right. Well, thank you, Bob.
And now you got curious about this, I can run and go look at the brochure that came with it.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, let me see if I can put my hands on it quickly.
In the meantime, we can come back to this. But Jack, appreciate you sitting around for the duration of the meeting. We missed you when your photo first came around, but your patience is appreciated. This is Help.
Well, the humor in this one, of course, stems from the fact that the little lizard has eaten thousands of insects like this, but this one's a little bit bigger than he's ever seen before, so he's shocked.
Yeah, it works pretty well. I think
The lower right half of the picture is less than perfect as far as alignment, but I worked quite a bit on that and I finally gave up.
yeah, it looks a little stretched if you
It was.
wanted to. It's pretty close.
It's the kind of picture that you hope, well, the attention is going to be focused on the upper and upper left part, so people won't see that lower right much.
Gosh, maybe just maybe crop it out. Maybe make this more of a square composition.
Or I could make that almost totally in darkness too.
You could. Well, let's see. I know you actually I'm gonna do something. I'm going to crop this. See if I can pull this off. Here we go. If you were to do something like this, Jack, it would, and I understand this isn't your thing, but if you did print stereo cards, that would be more or less the Holmes card format, that aspect ratio. Let me try this on all of them. Let's see. Just a thought. I think your stereo between the lizard and the bee is very good.
That's fun working with them.
And when you see that, I don't know if this is feedback you
It might actually
appreciate,
work better, yeah.
but it's an easy fix.
Yeah.
I think that Bob's Alameda picture might benefit from a similar format.
Say that again, Melinda. I think we missed the first part.
Bob's image of Alameda with the Wicked Witch shoes. I think it has a similar composition and might benefit from the same treatment.
Bob, are you there? Are you still getting that brochure?
Yeah, no,
Oh.
I found it.
The
Now what's Melissa complaining about now with my nice building?
Nothing wrong with it. Just a
No,
little
I'm just
little
teasing.
extra on the right side that wasn't contributing as much as the rest of the image. Same as here.
I'll have to look
It's
at
just it's just a compositional thing. I do like what Matt did.
Well, thank you very much, Jack. I think this one definitely hit the mark.
Thank you.
Now I am going to advance to the end of our slideshow. So if you're watching, you're going to see the photos go by quickly. And that is because it is time to make our selections with the straw poll. And I'm doing this so that I can share the link. Let's see, there it is. I've got a whole slide for this. Please vote in our slideshow poll. Now, there's still one photo that we haven't looked at yet. It's our workshop. It's not represented on the straw poll list, so don't be confused that it starts with number 2. But what I ask for those who are able to and who are interested in, please go to the strawpoll.com/GGSS link. The link is here on the slide. There's also a QR code if you'd like to do this on your phone or tablet. I'm going to run through the slideshow again. I'm just going to spend a few seconds on each slide. I'll announce the title. During or after this, please select your 3 favorites and we'll see the results. Again, this isn't about winners or losers, but we're all interested in the most popular photos. So let me pull this up myself because I haven't voted yet. And let's go through the slideshow. The welcome slide doesn't count. This is our workshop photo, which we won't include. We will start with photo number 2 by Oleg. The Capitan spots a pedestrian. We have Viewer's Dream by Bob. Help by Jack. Good Dog, Bad Donut by Melinda. Potted Rat by Jay. Rabbit Fails to Pay for a Strawberry by Oleg. Shoe Fly by Steve. Little House Cafe by Bob. Art Car by Jay. We didn't look at Peter Sinclair's Nat King Cole, Mona. We'll hear from him next time he drops by. Hedge Fund Manager by Bob. You Can Tell by the Way I Use My Walk by Melinda. What Goes Up Must Come Down by Oleg. Grape by Jay. Terry and Tommy by Bob. Bad Dog, Good Donut by Melinda. Evolution of 3D by Steve. When Masks Were Mandatory by Jay. Snoopy's Home at the Dog Park by Oleg. And A Dozen Doggos by Melinda. Okay, let's take 60 to 90 seconds and make our selections, and I will show the results on the screen. And we've got some more results coming in. Let's give it a few more moments. All right, I think that's enough time. Let me pull up the results and we'll see what we like. Okay, we've got an even spread tonight. Let me share this screen. Okay, well, I think this was a broadly popular category tonight. There were no clear standouts. We have a lot of ties, and I think that's very democratic of us. So thank you for participating. I think this was a very successful special theme. It was much easier to wrap my head around this than like our symmetry special from a month or two ago. and there was a lot to enjoy here. So thank you. We'll call first place a tie between Rabbit Fails to Pay for a Strawberry, Shoe Fly, Hedge Fund Manager, and you can tell by the way I use my walk, and by Evolution of 3D, and when masks were mandatory. Okay. Everyone's a winner tonight. Now, that was a lot of fun. We're not done yet. We enjoyed a photo from Bob last week, Baby Boa Tongue, and we gave him a lot of feedback, and he has returned with results of that feedback. So let me set this up. And this will appear on your stream momentarily. This is Baby Boa Tongue revised. Bob, tell us what you've done here.
Well, I agreed with someone's comment last week about some color. So I took a shot of some leaves that I thought echoed the tongue of the boa and added them and the blue border, which Matt noticed that it must have slipped when I was doing my alignment. So hopefully it's lined up now. It's looking good on the Lume Pad. I emailed you a revision of the revision where I added a little bit of saturation and cleaned up some of the shadow areas, which are not that noticeable. When I zoomed in, I could see some problems.
Oh, well, sorry I missed that. I'll throw it up next month. We can do another quick before and after.
Oh, that's, you don't need to. I just put it in for my own OCD. So.
And you've added this foliage as well, I see.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the both the graphic and the color that it adds to it.
I like that you picked foliage to match the tongue. That's I didn't notice that. That's a very nice touch. And I see that you fixed the eye too.
Yeah, I don't know if I did much on the eye. I'll have to go back to the original and see.
It's improved, definitely. The border looks a little wide to me. I would probably make it only half that wide or something, but I like the color. I like the framing. It's a good job.
Yeah, I'd call it an improvement. It was a really excellent shot to begin with.
Yeah, it's one of my entries for the 3D Con.
I was going to ask, are you going to put this as a card?
Yeah, it's going to accompany 11 other animal images I've taken.
All right.
I'm in the process. I've just been having trouble getting through the day. I've been in bed for the past 24 hours.
Yeah,
so.
Sorry you're feeling bad. Is this, there's something going around.
Yeah, well, I did take a COVID test yesterday and came up negative, but since my wife Marilyn also came up negative the first time she took it and then took it the next day and came up positive, I'm going to take one again.
Yeah, could be.
So we'll see. But yeah, hopefully I'll have the energy to go out and get it into the mail tomorrow.
Yeah. So you're sending them, you said 11 cards? Is there a
12?
12.
Yeah, there's minimum is 8 and you can go up to 12.
Okay.
They should all have a theme. And there's specs on the website, but basically these are a little larger than your standard cards because they do allow up to, I think, 4 inches.
So they're a little taller. They're Are they
Yeah, a
the
little
same
taller
width, but a
than
little taller?
than normal.
They still would fit in a home stereoscope or a
Oh yeah,
Aldi,
there's
or
no
but there's just
problem
a little more
viewing
on
them.
top. Yeah.
And they're going to be displayed on a board with plastic sleeves that are 5 inches. So I've made title cards for the series that go in back of this. So each one will have wild cards, is what I'm calling the series.
So they'll be on a board and people will view them like with lornets, I imagine, or maybe just free view them if they
Exactly.
can.
Yeah, they'll have some viewers there. Those that can free view will obviously do that. But they'll be on a board with 3 rows of 4 images.
Now, are these cards that you've already printed, or are you printing these up just for this this competition?
This one I printed up just for this competition because I wanted them to have a similarity. But I have hundreds of cards that are already printed up.
Do you print them yourself on your?
Yeah, there's a great video online by my friend David Kuntz on how to do stereo cards. And I've picked up some tips from him. Most notably, I've been mounting mine on stiff backing board, which is thicker than it needs to be. And he uses, it's called sheet music backing board, also comic book backing board. It's a 24-point acid-free, and it's just stiff enough for the cards, but not overly thick for storage.
I would love to get back into printing cards myself. Of course, when we were at the Oakland Camera Club and we met in person, we had an active card division until, I don't know, 5-10 years ago. I can't tell how much time has passed anymore, but we were printing and exhibiting and voting on cards in living memory, I guess. And
yeah, well, they were the very first home entertainment.
right.
I mean, this is how people traveled the world with their Keystone and other views and sitting around the living room.
Extremely popular. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something very satisfying about making them too.
You print them on an inkjet printer? Is that
Yes,
any kind of special?
which just ran out of ink. If there's anybody out there who has Epson ink for a 3880, I'm missing a light black, and I can no longer print anything. So I'm kind of in limbo here in terms of printing.
You've got a problem tonight. Well, do you have your 12 for the 3D Con? Do you have those?
Oh, yeah. No, I got those cobbled together today. Unfortunately, my laminating machine also crapped out on me, but nothing like a little spray mount to help whatever ails you. So,
well, it might not help what's ailing you, Bob. So just, don't use it medicinally. But
oh no, also about how it sticks to your fingers, and it's not the best way to mount slides. But
right.
Yeah, no, I print the whole card as one piece, and then actually I print them 2 or 3 up, and then cut them.
Cut them with a paper cutter. Well, thanks, Bob. As I said, I personally have been wanting to get back into prints for a while now, but maybe I'm feeling a little more motivated right now. So
that's good.
We'll explore. And thank you for sharing the results. I think they represent an improvement from an already excellent photo. A couple things that I wanted to share before we call it an evening. I had mentioned in the most recent Stereoscopy magazine, issue 137, there's a very interesting article there's several interesting articles, but the one that I was going to suggest is making lenticulars from AI generated images. I don't know if you can read that, but it's in the magazine. That's a zero lens camera lenticular print. It's not a long article, but it's got some great tips. And let's see, I know there were, to solve this mystery, Wings of the Hawk contains Woody Woodpecker in Hypnotic Hick. And 3D Rarities Volume 1 contains Boo Moon. That's the Casper the Friendly Ghost animated short, for those who are keeping track of these things. And I think maybe there are others, but those are the only two that I could grab.
And last I checked, Working for Peanuts is on YouTube,
Okay.
side by side.
And it's side by side. Okay. Do you have...
It's been a while, but I know it
Okay.
was there at one time.
Okay.
Oh, and regarding the zero lens business, I don't know if it's mentioned in your article, but I found that I've gotten some decent results from text to video. Sometimes you can get it to generate a crabbing sequence,
Oh.
and that actually turns into stereo pairs pretty well. In my limited experience so far, certainly better than trying to get it to generate stereo by definition. It doesn't really understand.
Which platform are you using?
That's a good question. Let's see. Hang on. Let me see if I still have a tab open. I might have to get back to you on that.
Okay. All right.
I forget what it was. But if you find yourself fooling with any of the text to video stuff, try seeing if you can get a grabbing shot.
That's a really interesting idea. I hadn't thought about that. I've tried training AI to make a stereo pair, but having it do a video and then grabbing frames out of that, that's probably going to be even more effective.
But it does seem to, because it's, at least the video trained AIs seem to understand how the planes of objects sort of slide past each other. It doesn't know that that's a stereo effect, but it definitely knows the result.
Yeah. Well, Melinda, I'm sure that sounds like a really obvious, smart idea to me, but I'm sure there are people in this meeting right now who are confused. If next month you want to show an example, and even if you want to write something up for the website, I know we'd all appreciate that. That sounds like a really inventive way to get AI generated stereo.
Yeah, I'll send you at least
Yeah.
one image like that.
Yeah, send me what you have, and I'll make time for it. I'd love to see that. And of course, I'm going to steal that idea myself. I think we probably all will.
Yeah, full of it. It's that I haven't been able to convince it to give that kind of crabbing shot with any predictability, but I have had it sort of do that on its own. So it's capable of it.
Yeah.
And the result is pretty good.
And as you said, it doesn't really know what it's doing, but it works.
Yeah, you get the right result.
Well, thank you, Melinda. All right. Before we call it an evening, I do want to announce that our next meeting is Tuesday, August 6th. The 6th is the first Tuesday of next month. And our special subject is Through the Window. And I think we all know what Through the Window means. We've seen some this evening. So I look forward to seeing you then. A lot of people hit the road in August, so we might have a small meeting. We might have a huge meeting. It's always a wild card in the summer. Before we say goodbye, does anyone have anything else they would like to share or announce?
Well, the Despicable Me 4 is in 3D and is playing now. I haven't seen it, but I will soon.
Okay. Oh, I just noticed your Warner Brothers T-shirt. How totally appropriate for Oleg's.
I didn't know the discussion would go that way.
Rabbit fails to pay for a strawberry. That's why I knew you were our expert when it came to animated shorts. There it is. And I see bugs up there too. Yeah. What a coincidence.
I know most of my stuff's Disney, but
Well,
gotta give props to the gang at the Termite Terrace too.
there you go. That's right. That was what they called their studio, right? And if you watch your TV over an antenna, you might have a new channel, Me TV Tunes, and they show Warner Brothers shorts throughout the day. But that's for another club. With that, I will wish everyone good evening. Thank you for coming. Great meeting tonight. Great slideshow. A lot of humor. Right on the mark. And we'll see you on the 6th. Stay cool, everyone. Good night.